Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. You are here live with us in studio with Red Worldwide, and we are so excited. I'm Patience Rose, and I am the founder of Red Worldwide, and we do this every day during the week because we believe that we want to help people do business better. And so, with that said, today we are going to dive into an area. We said we were going to do more hands on things this coming up week. And so today we're going to start the hands on things, even though we're going to be pushing it a lot of it over to next week with learning how to upgrade the customer experience. And the way that we start that is by learning more about our customers. And so we're going to understand who our customers are today and how we can better serve them. And we want to be able to create what we call an empathy map. And so we're going to jump in here and uh, do a little bit of a video so that you guys can understand what an empathy map is before we actually start, rolling out these slides and really diving into how we create one and then how I can help you guys create one today. So with that said, I want my producer to just kind of roll our video for me so we can learn a little bit more about the empathy map and how it works.
In the busy world of small to medium enterprises, the road to glory is exciting and at times scary. Every decision, every challenge, every opportunity impacts the destiny of these enterprises. Let us, for a moment today, step into the shoes of these brave hearts who run these small businesses. Welcome to more insights from the empathy map of small to medium-sized enterprises, also called SME owners and finance professionals, who will be the niche client of Precision Management Group, a boutique management accounting firm located in Texas and Florida. How do PMG clients think and feel? Now, let's walk into the minds and hearts of these committed souls. They lie awake at night thinking about their financial security and endlessly bugged by the ghost of tax compliance errors. Yet, they dream of the future where their business not only survives but also shines in the market competition through a distinct strategic direction. What do PMG clients hear? Regulatory changes, market volatility, success stories, or stories of demise. They never stop buzzing in the market. Peer discussions open up to shared struggles or wisdom, while the industry looks to a lighthouse of knowledge in the sea of financial unknown. What do PMG clients see? His eyes tell the story of every little daily chore in the financial management, of strategic misstep gashes that are never healed, and the shadow of competition is always there. It's a world that constantly seeks vigilance, creativity, and resilience. What do PMG clients say and do? Their voices carry the full spectrum of feelings, from frustration at complex financial landscapes to an iron struggle for strategic mastery. It's about a lot more than talk. It's about doing, research, reach, learn, and adapt. Each action is a step towards mastering your financial destiny. What are their pain points? The world of finance is full of roadblocks. The labyrinth of financial planning, the Herculean task of scaling, the daunting challenge of succession, and the elusive mission of expert oversight. Dragons that they need to slay along their path to success. What are their gains? Still, for the one who can go on, the gains are many. As expert financial guidance becomes their Excalibur, the red tape finally truly falls before them. Tax efficiencies and compliance stop being a burden and turn into a win. For each decision based on confidence and each operation scalable, building a growing empire on these pillars. Precision Management Group is poised and ready to arm these brave adventurers with an arsenal of solutions, from corporate business advisory to fractional CFO services, and from profit and growth strategy to business succession planning. We are here to guide, support, and empower. Walking a mile in their shoes, we have crafted our services to resonate with the hearts and minds of SME owners and finance professionals.
Okay, so one of the things that I really wanted to make sure that you understood when you're looking at these um, videos, a lot of times I've created these videos, these short videos, to just kind of give you another view of what it is that we'd be talking about. And today, that view is going to become abundantly clear. Roll my slides, please. It's important for you as a business owner, entrepreneur, or for that matter, future business owner to understand that it is your responsibility to design the customer experience and create empathy maps about your own customers so that you can ensure your customer lifetime value. And when I say customer lifetime value, I'm talking about you can secure how long the people that you start doing business with continue to do business with you. This is really important. We don't ever want to be in a situation where we are doing business and the clients that we have are not there with us, for a long period of time. We want to position ourselves so that they are with us, you know, um, as long as possible, as long as we are actually in business. And so it's very important for us to create the opportunity that we need for people to want to stay. And the way we do that is becoming more attuned to our clients. So thinking about the video that you just watched and learning that we did that video based on our other company, Precision Management Group and Precision Tax Advisors. We were really trying to learn about the clients that we were going to serve soon, and we wanted to be able to understand what are their pain points, why will they do business with us, why will they stay with us, what is it that we can do to make their businesses better and to make their lives better overall. And so with that said, we came to understand that there were some things that we needed to do as a business, and we could make things work for our clients in a way that would support every aspect of the things that they want to do in business. So, what I want to do right now, Javon, if you can actually make the slide bigger and you can get rid of me, okay, so that everybody can see what's on the slide, that's fine. This is fine the way that it is now. Okay, all right, let's go to the next slide, please. So, our agenda today is really to introduce people to the concept of customer experience and empathy mapping. How do we map out the customer experience we want our clients to have, and what is the benefit of doing this map, and then what are our important things that we want to ensure that we're going to put forth in our map so that we can make sure that we are again, securing that spot in the client mind, making sure that they want to stay with us as opposed to going to our competitor, when they're thinking about whatever the service is that we're offering to them. And then we want to do an empathy map. We want to understand how they feel. Because when you can understand how your client feels, then you can better serve them. We want to map a journey from their beginning, the very beginning of how they come into contact with you. How did they even get to you? If it was an introduction from a referral, or was it something that they found on the internet? However they got to you, or is it social media? You want to make sure that you map that journey out from that very start, to how they actually convert to becoming their client. And then, of course, we got to address the pain points. What are some techniques and strategies for doing that? And then how can we enhance their experience? And we'll look at some of the strategies for that as well. And then we'll develop out, this is where you're going to participate, developing out the customer persona. What is it that your customer looks like? My customer may look one way, but your customer may look a totally different way. It may be a totally different, gender, or a totally different ecographic or demographic, so we got to be able to see all those things. And then we'll look at some customer journeys, and outline those. And then we'll have some key touch point identification and address again pain point techniques. How do we what are our techniques for addressing the pain points? And then we're going to improve the overall customer experience and then transform our customer interactions to what we want them to be. Next slide, please. So our customer personas, and this is really an important thing. People call them avatars. I've heard people, use the word persona as well. But essentially, your client is your client, okay? And so you've got to be able to understand, you know, what they look like. What they act like, how they function in the marketplace of whatever it is that you're providing. And this is really crucial to gain the deep understanding of the audience, the target audience that you're going to serve. When you can create personas that represent the different segments of customers that you serve, then you can tailor your products, and your services to meet their needs better, and their preferences. So you want to understand also their customer journey. You map out the entire experience that they go through, from their very first interaction with a brand, okay, to post purchase activities, even after they've purchased. I love it when people, are thinking about me, after the fact. Like, I get these boxes from Amazon and I will have purchased something, and there'll be a card in the box that says, hey, if you have a problem, reach out to us directly. Or, I know you bought this, but we wanted to also give you this QR code so that you can get, an opportunity for these items as well that you might want to add to the item that you purchased. Understanding and optimizing these touch points in the journey can, really enhance your customer satisfaction and their loyalty, and which is what leads to them being with you for life. So having these key touch points, identifying what they are, allows you to focus on critical interactions, things that are really important, that have the significant impact on your perception. When you prioritize touch points, you can allocate resources to those touch points that are efficiently going to improve your overall customer experience. And then, of course, you got to see their pain points. I remember, purchasing something, and it was great. The item was great, but the fact of the matter was it was just poorly constructed, And so, as much as I did love the item, when it began to break apart, I was so, so frustrated. However, there was a resolve, because by the time I sent the information over to the company that had, created or manufactured this item, they sent me out their newest item, which had already corrected some of the issues of the older item, so that at least I had the item now, and I had the newer, improved version of it, and I was still a satisfied customer. I wasn't happy about the fact that the first one broke, but I was happy about the fact that I got a new one that actually did, sustain my use, for it. And so that's really an important thing. And then experience improvement over time. Your customer experience should get better. People should be, happier the longer they do business with you. And the way that happens is when you're continuously seeking ways to make sure that clients or customers, have their needs met, that you're exceeding their expectation. When you invest in improvements across all of your customer touch points, then what happens is you improve your competitive edge, your unique value proposition, is improved. And so you can build long lasting relationships with the customer, which means that they will not go to your competitor, even if the competitor might have something that you don't necessarily offer. And so these are really important things to remember. Well, empathy mapping is a powerful tool that you can use to really get into the customer's emotional side, their thoughts, their behaviors, and when you understand the customer behavior, okay, you can tailor your offerings to meet their needs, their emotional needs, and create meaningful connections, with between you and the customer. Next slide, please. So, what does it mean to map out the customer experience, and what are the benefits of doing so? Well, the importance of customer experience mapping really is, just a part of being, the forward-thinking business owner to craft out a way of seeing the end to end journey. When you identify, like I said, the interactions, the touch points, you can pinpoint the areas that you might need to improve or upgrade your services. Maybe you weren't able to do something when you first started that you can now do, so you can deliver a seamless experience that can resonate with your customer. And then what are some of the benefits? Well, the benefit of customer experience mapping really does include improved customer satisfaction, enhanced brand loyalty, and increased customer retention. But also having the valuable insights for new product innovation, and new service innovation. How can you iterate on top of what you've already done to create something that's more profound and more powerful? When you map out customer experiences, you can really align a customer's strategy, your strategy, with your customer's expectation, really. And that's kind of one of the reasons why people leave brands, because of unfulfilled expectations and unmet needs. And so when you are able to turn that thing around and make it so that customers see, wow, they are meeting my needs consistently and they continuously are innovating. This is why I buy Apple products, okay? I'm going to put it out there, because I like what it is that Apple does to continuously meet my expectations. I bought a new iPad recently, and I, because I had given my one of my iPads to my grandson, and I had given my other iPad to one of my other family members, and so I was down an iPad. I had given one to one of our staff, and so I am used to functioning with three iPads for different reasons. I have, of course, when I go in to do trainings, I'll take the iPads and I'll let customers or clients use the iPad while I'm using my laptop, or I'll use one of my iPads and I'll have them use the other one so that I can teach them how to do things, and they will have something that they can actually mirror what I'm teaching them, right there in the session. And so I also have one that I use for registrations. When we are in a situation where we're doing an event, we'll pass the iPad around so that people can register if they don't have the ability to register using their phone. So we have these reasons that we use iPads, and they are very, very effective. Recently, I have started traveling without my computer because I don't want to carry customer information on my computer. I don't want them to be at risk. And so if I'm traveling on a plane, I have started not taking my computer with me, because it has been found that I can function better, without having the risk of having client data there with me. And so I will tell you that, it's been very interesting learning how to use the newer device, because there's some key things that are different that are so much better than what it was on the device from 2018. So I'm like, wow, this is great. Now I have the benefit of the newer device and some of the things that they were able to iterate on top of the previous device. It's not just a software upgrade, but actually a hardware upgrade. And I've been very grateful for that. Well, I will say that at one point in time, I actually used Android phones, and I was an Android user while I was using the Apple ecosystem for my iPad, and also my, um, doing the everything that I need to do on a computer. I use the Apple computer since the 70s. I've used Apple, and understanding this, that I was totally sold on the Apple computer. I was totally sold on the iPad, but I wasn't always sold on the iPhone. So although I got the very first iPhone that came out and I used it, I switched to Android for a short stint because there were certain things that I just could not make happen on the Apple iPhone at the beginning, and there was nothing I could do to change that. And so I will tell you this, that it is really important to me, to have a company, iterate on top of what it is that they've already created, and that listens to their customers, and they try to do whatever they can do to make those changes. And so what I am saying is that it's important for you, as you're looking at how you map out your customer experiences, You put yourself in their shoes to see if every part of your process is would serve you well. And if you find out that something that you're doing doesn't serve you the way that you would like, then it's probably going to be the case for your customers. And I would say doing polls and surveys like we talked about yesterday, even focus groups, having people get together, to talk about the experience that they're having with your company and with your products or your services. It gives you the feedback necessary so that you can put this on your experience map to basically say, this is what the clients see when they very first get involved in doing business with us. This is what their journey is like when they reach our first person that they're dealing with in our office or over the phone or online. This is what their experience is as they're utilizing our products and services. And this is what it's like when something breaks down and they have to reach out to tech support. This is what it looks like when, they are, needing to have a new service or, renew their ability to do business with you. All of those pieces gives you the ability to serve better. Okay. So when you're able to take and use the customer persona or the avatar, it really does give you the ability to um, have a person, a real live human being, to plug in to these areas of doing businesses with you, or for that matter, even getting information about you. When people request information about your services, do you have some sort of brochure, or how do they find out all of the things that are available? Is there a place online where they can go to get this information? When they go there, are they met with, something that makes sense to them? Okay. Can they figure it out? Or do you have the, frequently asked questions available? Or is there a bot on your website that will speak to them, some kind of a robot that helps them understand, or some chat bot that will help them, better navigate through the journey of doing business with you? These are things that you will put on your experience map. Now, we see here that there's like a storyboard or a map that's in our picture here that we have, and we see that this is for an app, and so they're showing what the app is going to look like, every place where a person will interact with the app, and what it is that they'll find on the app, and how the app will provide the different opportunities for a person to engage. And so this is another way of showing the customer journey, how the customer actually interacted with the software and what it is that the software provided for them at every level. And so we can do the same thing with a service. We don't have to just use this for a physical, tangible product, but this is something that you can do for services as well. Next slide, please. So empathy mapping, understanding customer feelings. And so I have to say this, in my little video, I know you noticed how, that we talked about the feelings of our clients and how they were waking up. Sometimes our clients in Precision Management Group wake up with the thought on their mind of, what am I going to do about my bills, and how is the company going to be able to afford to take care of all of the things? How are we going to be able to serve all of the new clients? These are things that people think about, and sometimes finance is a huge, huge burden. And so us providing our clients with ways that they can mitigate their issues and solve the problem for them without them even having to ask us, that's big, in that particular business. So let's kind of look at some step by steps. Well, here's a guide, for you to be thinking about if you're going to map out the empathy of your clients. So it really involves creating visual representations of the customer's perspective. So just grab a piece of paper, a piece of white paper. I have one here so you can see, piece of white paper. And you're going to take a pencil or a pen, and you're going to just begin to map out for your customer, what it is that you want the customer to see, because you really want to be able to have them pay attention to what makes sense, and how you can really show something that is um, tremendously impactful with the clients. It begins with you understanding their pain point where they're starting with you, and so I have to say this because I think it's important for people to think about, when your clients come to do business with you, they're coming from so many different places. And one of the things that I have come to understand is that when clients by the time they get to me, sometimes they have already been to several places, okay, to talk to somebody about starting a business, and many times the people that they've talked to have shot down their ideas. Sometimes they've talked to the authorities in their lives, or their spouses or their kids. And so by the time they come to me, they may be a little defeated, or they may not feel worthy, or they may not feel like they can do what it is that they really want to do. And so I have to be able to mitigate that part before I can even get to helping them to create the solution that they want to create for the world, whatever that is. And so um, that thing there is something that I had to actually draw out on the map, a little person with a defeated attitude to help me understand the emotions that they might be feeling. I also might, have the opposite. I might have a client that feels like their product is the only one that's out there that's going to be able to solve a particular problem, and they might feel like they are already, in a place of where people are going to automatically purchase. And so I have to bring, some context to the fact that there might be competitors already out there serving people, and they might have the market share. How are you going to participate in that market? And how are you going to compete? So having a step-by-step guide to actually, see what your clients see and understand, from their perspective, these things about what you are trying to get them to participate in, your product, your service, or your set of services, and then understanding their emotions around it that might surround the reasons why they may buy or not buy, and then understanding their behaviors, that might be okay. They'll buy a lot at the beginning, and maybe they may not buy again from you for 5 years, and there may be some reasons for that. But you have this drawn out map that will help you to understand or get a deeper insight into the customer's mind, into the customer's attitudes, their financial attitudes, their emotional attitudes, and see what drives their actions and their decisions. That is going to be key. And then understanding what they think, feel, say, hear, and do, that's going to be really important because it is going to help you to capture this holistic view of their experiences by exploring their thoughts, their emotions, their sensory perceptions, their verbal expressions, and their actions. And when you can dissect each one of these elements, you can kind of uncover some nuanced things, nuanced insights, to give you information so you can make informed decisions, about how you're going to run your company. And then getting the customer behavior insights is really, really key because when you have your empathy map and it's only going to the surface level, you really don't get the observation of the client that you need to have. You need to be able to reveal some underlying reasons and the motivations behind why people buy Skittles instead of just buying M&Ms. Okay, and even understanding if Skittles and M&Ms are really competitors. Yes, they're both candy, but are they really in the same world? So having that concept is going to help you to better serve and better have the ability to resonate with the customer, needs and their preferences. Next slide, please. Okay. So when you get ready to map your customer journey, you want to be able to have the ability to map their journey from the very beginnings of their interaction or how they might be able to find you or find out about you. And you want to have that pre-interaction um, portion on the map, okay? And then you want to also go into, the information that they might be getting from other people, how that might weigh in, what they might be seeing about you if they go to Instagram or Facebook to check you out, what are they going to see, or TikTok or X, or are they going to see anything? Are you even there? and then walk through the journey of them actually, talking to the first person, whether it's talking to the person at the store where your product is for sale, or talking to someone online, or for that matter, looking at your customer testimonials on your website or in your web store, your Shopify store, or on Amazon. What are they seeing, of the reviews about what it is that you have to sell, about your book or your whatever it is that you're doing? How do they really engage, and what is it that they really learn from seeing you wherever they see you? And then you want to go walk all the way through the process of post purchase. What has their experience been like? Now that they have the product or the service, or do they still feel the same level of excitement before they opened the package, or before they, jumped online with you in that first coaching session? Are they still, as excited to talk to you or to work with someone from your company as they were when they first decided they wanted to have whatever it is that you are selling? You need this holistic view, because that helps you to begin to make sure you can upgrade, to put in fail safes and all types of things, guardrails around your whole process, to make sure it's the best possible process that anyone can have in your industry. Okay. And then these key touch points, you got to be able to identify what those are, the key moments, the crucial moments and interactions that people, have that significantly impact their perception of you and their satisfaction with what it is that you're bringing forth. You got to analyze this in a way that is going to help you optimize their customer journey. And then after you have been able to identify, you got to examine those touch points in their journey to understand the impact. What impact does that thing really have on the overall experience? And that analysis will really help them to make some strategic decisions for, how they can improve their journey. Okay. Next slide. So, how do you address a pain point? If somebody has had a negative experience, or if there's been a situation that did not, turn out the way you intended, what do you do about it? Well, you got to be able to recognize areas in the journey where they don't feel satisfied. Where is this place that is a place of dissatisfaction or confusion or frustration? I know in our case, I have had times where customers couldn't reach me because we changed the system, or we had different people working that system that had worked it before, or for that matter, we went from using emails, to using a secure portal. That's our story. And customers didn't know how to get access to the portal. They didn't know how to log in or where to log in, or we changed our website and they didn't know where to find stuff. Oh, that was a huge one for us, because when they couldn't find it, it made a significant difference in how satisfied they were. I've had customers call other clients and say, "Hey, have you talked to Patience? We can't reach her. Is she still in business? Is everything okay?" And those kinds of things should never happen, right? In a perfect world. But there are things that sometimes change that can give a customer a different view of what's going on. Because we were getting, to the point of where we had a lot more clients to serve, and we had exceeded our capacity to touch every person personally. It became a situation where it appeared to them that we might not still be doing what we were doing, when really what was happening is that we had a growth spurt, and we were course correcting our process by which people were able to get to us. And I had to remove myself as being the only person that could solve certain problems. When you are in a position where you now have given people more options for getting their um, their problem solved, it really is better for them. But sometimes it doesn't feel better because they get used to you and they want to deal with you. They don't want to deal with other people. So you have to be able to soften that experience and help people know, hey, I'm still here for you and you can still reach me. This is how. But for these things, you don't really need me. You can deal with my likeness or my software, or for that matter, I have, my agent, that's what I call her online, where you can ask her questions and you can come sometimes get better answers from her than you would get from me in a short, a longer period of time, because sometimes it may take you 2 weeks to get an appointment with me now. But being able to talk to my likeness on the website could get the answer that you're seeking, and you may not need to talk to me at all. Who knew? Okay, so, or taking a course where I have the answers inside the course, could get your answer, to you a lot faster. And you can always rewind to get, those answers in the replay a lot faster than you being able to get me in a text message or for that matter over the phone. So you got to be thinking about these kinds of things. So when you address the pain point, you have to also let the client know that you've taken proactive steps to resolve this issue that they're having. Even if you feel like the issue is not your fault, or if they should have known, or all of this is in your portal, that's all on your website, none of that matters. What matters is that you address it and let the client know, hey, I'm here for you, and here's the answer. But you could also get the answer by watching the course. Okay. It's very important to satisfy the customer's needs and their ability to gain access to what it is that they're looking for when they're dissatisfied. And so when you improve your experience strategies, how you actually address these things really does enhance the overall customer experience, because you're able to eliminate the pain points and optimize your touch points, helping them to understand that you really do care and you value them as a customer and as a client. It does improve or foster an overall, customer loyalty and retention rate. Next slide, please. So when you go forth to enhance your customer experience, I want you to be thinking about three things. How do you improve your customer interactions? How do you develop out a strategy, okay, to, you know, um, do this? And then what are the implementation, models that you're going to use to deploy these things? So let's take a look here. When you implement practices and strategies that enhance the quality of your interactions, you really do provide a way for you to improve your customer lifetime value, because by focusing on their needs and their preferences, you can create memorable and engaging experiences that cause them to come back or to stay with you, throughout the long haul. And then when you formulate personalized strategies based on the insights that you have, gone out and sought, concerning your customer, and the feedback that you got from the customer, then you can use that to improve their experiences. And it'll be like, man, they are reading my mail. Okay. They really do care because they implemented that one thing that I really wanted. That's how customers feel when you have begun to listen to them and put things in place when possible and when it actually does, improve the interaction for everybody. It does make something meaningful to them, and it feels personalized or customized when you make those changes, and the strategies are designed specifically for the customer base you have. And then your implementation, really needs to just um, be in a way, or I should say, pushed out there in a way where the execution, okay, is well done. I mean, with excellence, okay? The process, the products, the services, they align with the customer's expectation and it enhances their satisfaction when possible. There may be some things that you just cannot do. It might not be in budget for you to do it right now, but even communicating that these are the changes that we're going to make in the future, saying that in some form, whether it's on your website or on your socials or on a little postcard when you are delivering your product, those things really do lead to long term customer loyalty because they can see that you're working on it. Okay. And that's a big deal. Okay. Next slide, please. So let's kind of do some customer persona development now. Okay, we talked about, developing out personas and that we would actually, create some profiles of customers. So I want you to take some paper. Again, we're going to pull up the white paper and with your pencil turn it on the other side because now we're going to do some other things. I want you to create a comprehensive profile of your customer. So the first thing is I want you to write down, where do your customers live? Okay. This is a demographic that you want to be able to say. So this could be something as simple as all of my customers live in California, or all of my customers live in Texas, or all of my customers live in Florida. That could be that simple. Or it could be my customers live in a metropolitan statistical area like Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, or my customers live in the inner city, okay? Or my customers live, in the hill country. My customers live in the country, okay? Those things could be really important to you. Maybe where the customer lives in terms of the street or the neighborhood might not be as important as the fact that they live in the United States of America. Okay, that might be a big deal. But write down where your customers hail from because we want to see, and I want the most important information to the kind of products and services that you provide. Okay, and then write down the kind of behaviors that your customer might be exhibiting. Okay, so in the case of, some of my customers that I'm working with in the tax preparation side of what we do, some of our customers are exhibiting frustration. Some of our other customers are exhibiting challenges, with just understanding money management. Others of our customers are, exhibiting apathy. Okay, that might be a thing. And so, having the behaviors that they're exhibiting, some of them might not be managing their finances well. So, they might be exhibiting behaviors of being undisciplined. Okay, some of them might be exhibiting, behaviors of um, being very conservative. Okay, so those are the types of behaviors that I would jot down. But what are the behaviors that you would jot down for the kind of company that you run? I want you to jot down some of those behaviors so you can kind of see what type of customer or persona or avatar you could be dealing with. Then, what are your clients' preferences? What are the things that they prefer? Okay. So, for me, in the accounting side of what we do, our clients prefer to meet online. They don't want to have to leave their offices to come to, a building, most of them. But then I have a couple of other clients that prefer, okay, that I show up at their shop every now and then. That's a big deal to them because they want to see that I am engaged with their process, that I understand it, and that it makes sense to me. So when I'm working on their books, then I can factor certain things in. Okay. My trust clients, they want to know that I am, totally engaged in what makes sense for their family. So their preferences might be a little different, than what my other clients are. And then, of course, what are the motivations of your clients? What, or are they motivated by money? Are they motivated by greed? That might be a big deal to note on a client file for you so that you can understand why there might be problems in certain areas. Are they motivated by, maybe they're motivated by their parents and it might be a family business. And so they really want to please their parents. And so certain things might be going the way they're going because of those motivations. You want to have these detailed personas so that you can understand enough about the client so you can better craft a product or a service that works for them. And then you want to understand the entire audience that you're serving, gaining deep insights into the need. And I want you to write down the needs of my audience. My audience need these services. They need it done this way. Okay. They need it done this fast. So on your paper, you might have your audience, right? On the other side of what you were writing, and you might write down the needs, how they need it done, when they need it done, where they need it done, how fast they need it done. Those are all really important. What are the preferences of the entire industry? The audience that you serve may not be just the total client. You might be serving other people that are in the same field because you have services that they don't offer. So they might become, one of your vendors that is out there reselling your service. So you need to understand the preferences of those people as well. And what are the challenges, of your target audience, through the persona that you actually wrote on the other side? Those challenges might help you also understand better the target audience, the entire audience, not just the individual persona. Okay. And understanding these segments, they help you to craft a better tailored a product or service to that audience and give them a better experience and better messaging about what it is that you're doing. Next slide, please. So let's look at the customer journey online, okay? We want to create a little outline that, and so you're going to need another piece of paper for this one, that actually will help you map out that entire journey. And so we talked about it earlier, but now we're going to do it. All right. I want you to write down choose one of the personas that you had on the other sheet. Just choose one and write down the experience that they have, that particular one, based on their demographics, based on the part of the target audience that they are. What is their experience with you? So what mine might would look like is it might would look this way. They heard someone talking about the great experience that they're having with their accounting firm that's operating as a virtual CFO for them. And in having that conversation, someone in the room might say, "Oh man, I'm interested in that. How does it work?" And so you might write down initial conversation from, a referral. Okay. And so you write down the person gets referred to you, and now they are interacting with you from the referral. The referral might be that they actually contacted you through an email, or they might have been in a group text, or it might have been that they were told about something that you were doing where you might be speaking or where your services might be deployed from that location. And so they might show up there. So you're writing down this journey based on one of the avatars, and then you're going to talk from the standpoint on this paper from their initial interaction from this referral in this particular case to the actual interaction of how they reached out to the actual touch point of how somebody reached back, okay, and actually interacted to the actual in our case, they set up an appointment. In your case, they might be just going to the store to purchase. Okay. And so they come in contact with your product and the packaging based on someone telling them where they can go buy. All of this, it yields a particular flow or a map that gives that customer journey context for you so you can understand the interactions with the customer and the clients that you're dealing with and better be able to do the analysis. And then you're going to do this analysis, analyze the key touch points of this journey, and evaluate how they interacted with your business and the impact that that interaction had on the overall engagement and the ability for them to purchase the service or the product, and then analyze the touch point in a way that's going to help you get places of improvement within your company and within your process, so you can optimize how they're coming into contact with what it is that you have to sell. Next slide, please. So key touch point identification really is going to, focus on recognizing the pivotal moments, those crucial interactions that are going to significantly influence the customer's perception of your company and the customer's behaviors based on that perception. It's going to help you identify key touch points, that will help you prioritize your efforts and maximize the impact that you're going to have on the interaction with this customer, or group of customers for that matter. And your interaction focus is going to be changed forever from this information, because you'll be able to direct your attention and your resources towards optimizing and enhancing that key contact that people had with you. And it will create memorable and positive differences, positive experiences in the life of the lifetime of your customer's journey. By focusing on these critical moments, these critical interactions, you can drive customer satisfaction and engagement rates. Okay, and the lifetime value. Next slide, please. Okay, so how do we address pain points? Okay, so now I want you to turn that other paper on the back. And so we're going to look at some, ideas. I'm going to give you some techniques, and then I want you to write down just 3 ideas that you would have for how you would give customer feedback to let them know that you are handling the situation, or that you will be able to handle the situation in the future. So here are some of the ways. Well, when you use methods like getting customer feedback and then doing an analysis on the feedback, um, doing the journey mapping, like we talked about a few minutes ago, and even usability testing to test the user experience, you can actually have the ability to identify the pain points in the customer's experience and then address them, right? So the techniques help to uncover the challenges and help you to see the areas for improvement, but you need strategies to help you improve. So when you implement these targeted strategies and solutions, you can address the identified pain point and enhance your overall customer experience. You have these strategic improvements that you can make, to focus on resolving the issues and creating a seamless interaction for the customer from the beginning to the very present. Okay, next slide, please. So, how do you improve your overall customer experience? Okay, well, here's some practical tips. Implementing actionable recommendations and best practices to enhance the overall customer experience. The thing that we talked about today, are the things that we've talked about today. Putting those things into practice are going to actually help you focus on improving your interaction. And these tips, they help you streamline your processes, and they help you exceed your customer expectations. It does you no good to come and listen to what we're talking about at co-working and not use what you've learned. You've got to be able to push out there the tips and the tools so that they actually do serve you in a way that's powerful and positive. Then you got to be able to develop and execute impactful strategies that align with your customers' needs, but also your business goals, so you can drive superior customer experiences. The effective strategies do provide a holistic approach to deliver value and better engagement, and then, when you are actually in a situation where you can make, announcements that will help people to understand that you are enhancing your customer interactions. You guys are making changes, and you have these innovative solutions, and you're continuously refining and optimizing your impact with the client. It does really help you to make sure that the customer is getting the message that we are always evolving to become better at what we do so that we can better serve you. Next slide, please. So our conclusion today is, when transforming your customer interaction, you really do need to take some of those essential things that you learned today and summarize them so that you can begin to have your own process that will improve your customer's experience and your empathy mapping process, because this should be a continuous thing. Should not be something that you do one time and then stop, but you got to be able to understand the importance of, continuing a process of always assessing and understanding your customers' needs and optimizing your customer interactions. And then you really need to transform over time. You should not be in a position where you are constantly doing the same thing the same way all the time and never looking to improve. You have to use the transformative power of enhancing your customer interactions and experiences. And when you are constantly or continuously improving and adapting to your customers' preferences, you can create lasting relationships and drive customer loyalty. Well, this has been Patience Rose with Co-working Live with Red Worldwide today. I hope you've enjoyed this kind of interactive session to help you learn how to best work with your clients and help them understand, that you really do value them as a client, value them as a customer, and you want to do whatever it is that you can do to improve the ability to serve them. And that is going to be the number one key to keeping loyal customers and making sure that they turn into sales teams to bring you new ones. We look forward to seeing you again next week. And um, don't forget to tell somebody about co-working. And if you feel inclined and you're on a platform watching this where you can subscribe to us, or you can like us, or for that matter, follow us, do so, because it's important to us to know that we are having an impact on business owners, in every place where we can. And so this is going to give us the opportunity to do so when you let people know that we are actually out here doing this the way we're doing it. Well, we look forward to seeing you again next time.